Pickaxe.
5, 4, 3, 2, live! Michelle.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 904 of the Video Game Outsiders podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Michelle Madison.
And I, of course, am your John Jacobson. And joining us tonight, Michelle.
The Dirt Merchant, the game store guy. He owns game stores out there in Ohio. What's up, Kevin?
Not much. I'm here in the third chair tonight.
Good.
It smells of old weed and maple syrup.
Yeah, Matt Bradford did a number on that. Don't put your nose to the seat cushion. But no, we have CC Games CEO. You guys know him and love him. He has a show on our app, and he owns game stores. And John, I know that you want to talk to him about some stuff, right? You like to get a sense of what's going on out there.
I do want. Actually, that's exactly what I want to know. I want to know: is there a lot of just anticipation, excitement, people kind of out of breath, losing themselves,
Switch?
just thinking about the Switch 2 and all the juice that's going to be in that. You know, there's Nintendo juice, there's Nvidia juice. It's going to be just dripping. Next generation. Are people losing their mind,
salivating?
Kevin?
Yeah. Yes, they are. Actually, there's a lot of people that are happy to see it. There's a lot of people thinking about getting excited about thinking about getting excited about it.
So they like the idea of liking the idea of getting
up.
yes, they like the idea of getting excited about it. And to be honest, I'm one of them. So
I am too, Kevin.
I'm not.
I can't believe
You're with two Nintendo sycophants.
I mean, honestly,
feel dirty. Help me.
In like 2-3 weeks, and for me with deck mode, holy shit! Like this is the
you get
ultimate.
To have something that's as powerful as a 1050 Ti. How do you feel?
Okay, I'm not buying any of that shit, Michelle.
Yeah,
Sorry, not doing it.
YouTubers broke down the tech on it.
Get your bag of tricks out of here. I know that you've been waiting to say that to me, and I'm not buying
Enjoy it. Nintendo patenting that you can't have mounts that you ride when you collect mounts. Look, if you want to support this, go ahead. 1050 Ti.
Get your bag of tricks out. No, you know what? That's bullshit, and you know it is. Okay,
it's not.
There's no way it's a 1050 Ti for
That's
one.
What people
okay,
said handheld is 1050 Ti.
Bullshit. Okay,
well,
really?
I don't know what to tell you.
Okay, who are these people?
Really.
Who are these experts? These scientists
who looked at this chip in their hand.
They looked at the chip. Oh,
they have the chip in hand.
Break.
What do you have? Nintendo
Bullshit.
boners? That's all you have is a boner for Nintendo.
I got Nintendo boner. Okay, I got it.
You
all right.
Yeah, you
all
both do.
I want the juice dripping all over me. Okay,
God,
I can't wait. All right, and I like the idea of getting into Mario Kart.
It's
all right?
new hardware. I'm always excited when something
new hardware from
out.
20-year tech. No, I'm just
bullshit.
kidding. Yeah.
First of all, Nvidia is personally
no one would give
involved.
A shit about Nintendo if they didn't have their games. It's about the games at the end of the day.
Nintendo is personally involved. With, I mean, Nvidia is personally involved. Jensen is involved. This is not 20-year-old tech. Who the fuck are you? What are you talking about?
Yeah, Jensen and Miyamoto had dinner together.
Think about what you're saying, how stupid that sounds.
Yeah. Think about you're stupid that people who have the chip in hand said it's like a 1050 Ti.
Okay,
Take
really,
it up
the
with
chip
them.
in hand. The
yeah,
people
they
with
have
the
it
chip in hand.
They opened it, they looked at it, they tested
they
it, they did benchmarks.
And did what?
Look,
and then,
I'm a woman of science. I'm going to go with fact, not faith on this one. I don't have faith in the Church of
these
Nintendo.
Are fake, self-appointed experts. You know that.
You fucking cult member. You're both cult members. Look at the fucking facts, okay?
These are self-appointed experts.
I want facts. I want truth. And what I'm seeing here is old tech for high money. Go buy a Steam Deck, people, and emulate your Switch games.
You think Nvidia is releasing old tech?
Yeah,
they said Cyberpunk,
the most valuable company in the planet.
The best place to play Cyberpunk is not on a 5090. It's on a
no. They said
Switch
the best place to play handheld.
Yeah, which means it's more powerful than Steam Deck.
The ROG Ally is way more powerful, by the way. And no,
we don't know that.
Yeah, it is.
No,
we do. All right,
now,
let's
Kevin,
move on.
I want to talk. You messaged me about the GameCube controller. Let's have a discussion about that.
Sure. Oh boy, it's just a Nintendo love episode. Should I leave and let you guys jerk fucking Miyamoto off
Kevin,
together?
I saw that today that Nintendo was selling.
He only needs one hand, if you know what I'm saying. One hand, not four.
So I
don't know. I heard he's pretty girthy. You might need two hands on it.
What are you talking about? I missed the setup here.
You're like gargling Miyamoto juice, and I'm like, you don't need four hands for this guy. Okay, you can do it with a pinky.
All right. So Kevin messaged me today. I saw this today also, and I was actually on the Nintendo website for a split second. They had a queue going to get this GameCube wireless controller because obviously the Switch 2 is going to have the Virtual Console with GameCube games, which, okay, sure. I mean, do I need to play Wind Waker or start Wind Waker again? But maybe. Are you looking forward to the GameCube stuff?
I am, but to be honest, I did buy the controller, but
you did.
I won't open it. I'll probably just put it on my shelf and and I'm part of the problem.
Just gaze at it.
Yeah.
Just maybe look at it once in a while.
Kevin,
It's one of those things
let's be
that-
honest though. In hindsight,
Yeah.
the N64 controller at the time seemed perfect,
hated it.
and now it's a piece of shit.
N64 controller.
And I have to kind of, unless you play Smash Brothers, maybe I don't think the
Yeah.
GameCube controllers held up either.
I used to like it. I liked my GameCube, to be honest with you.
I
There were a
liked
lot
it
of
when
good
it was
games for GameCube.
when it was the next controller after N64. It was amazing, right? But I'd rather use the Pro controller personally.
Why are we
for all
talking
those
about
games.
Round Doom: The Dark Ages is out, and we're going to do a
getting
round
to that.
table.
Well, I got
for
Kevin
that
here
tonight.
though because he messaged me today, and we want to just unpack this GameCube.
You guys want to? Yeah, you want to pack something.
So
right?
do you
And it's
think
not
did they
this.
sell out of that controller? You really think that's going to be hard to get?
I do, because Nintendo. That's Nintendo. They love to create false. You know, shortages, and it's one of those things you can only get it from ordering it from them. So it's going to be hard to get down the road.
I've got the NES controllers. I think I might have gotten the Super Nintendo ones. I never used those ever.
I used the NES ones. I never took the Super Nintendo ones out of the package.
Yeah.
I know I'm part of the problem. I just put it on my shelf and it looks cool.
So Michelle, what do you think about this whole GameCube controller thing?
I don't give a flying fuck, okay? But we've got Doom: The Dark Ages tonight. We have a round table. We were all excited to play. And Bradford's stopping by next week to give his impressions of it. So we'll be talking to him. But tonight we got Kevin. We're going to be doing a round table after the break covering Doom: The Dark Ages. And by the way, we are giving away a copy in our Discord from CD Keys. Check them out at cdkeys.com. Save a few bucks or win in our Discord every week with like weekly giveaways from them. Anybody can enter, but if you support us in the various places, you get multiple entries, including John. We do bonus shows weekly.
We do
bonus shows. We have a 20-year back catalog. We have ad-free VGO. If you want to get that, you can support in Discord or on the app. Here on Twitch as well, you get extra entries on twitch.tv/John and Michelle. So that's where we are right now live. I think we got big fun show tonight. By the way, number one PC gaming podcast chosen by a million podcasts, whatever that is. They like us a lot over there.
That.
Yeah,
but I didn't pick up. It was the PC. I thought it was
that one was
video game
PC. Well, we're in the top 50 video game podcasts, but we were the number one PC gaming podcast they picked. So
That's
whatever.
awesome.
Thank you, Candy
guys.
Hands. He's Team Michelle. I'm holding it strong here, trying to fight sandwiched between these two Nintendo sycophant cult members tonight. So
Michelle,
we
are on the eve of the biggest.
Oh my god! I'm so glad you experienced a 1050 Ti. Yeah,
I don't
the power
listen.
of your hand.
Yeah, keep saying that. I know it's not
Look,
true. There's
take
no
it up with the
fucking
tech
way.
YouTubers, John. I'm just here looking at the facts.
No one has the console.
Yeah,
what are you
they
talking
do.
about?
Yeah, they
It's
do.
a proprietary chip.
The guy has it in hand. What are you talking about?
Proprietary chip. Yeah.
Someone
him.
did get a hold of one, John, and they broke
They
it down.
did.
It didn't work. It was non-functional, but they
got the
broke
chip.
it down.
They know it.
Yeah.
They broke it down. That's right.
No.
Take that.
But-
I put the video in there. This
I don't
nice
care. I
Geeker
don't- it's
one.
I don't know if
Geeker
I-
one.
yeah, I don't
he
know if
said
I
it right
trust-
here.
I don't.
Look, he
check
looks
that guy
trustworthy.
that
He's
got
got
it.
Kim Jong-un's hair. How could you go wrong? This guy means business. I believe him. He's holding that chip to the screen, and he said 1050 Ti. So we'll see what happens. Of course,
It's
you
become
guys will love it.
fashionable to shit on Nintendo lately.
I don't think he's shitting. He's just telling you what. He's
the
just telling you
last
what it
couple
is.
weeks
2050
it's
docked
really
and 1050
become-
not docked.
Yeah.
No way. That's just bullshit.
This
Sorry.
is the guy who has the chip. I don't know.
I don't care.
Does
He's
he
got the
maybe know
chip
more
out of
than you?
context.
He has the chip.
He just has a chip
He has a
out of
fucking chip.
context.
You're
out
saying
of
he's
context.
wrong.
Out of
Okay.
context.
Look,
a chip out of context.
That's what it is. I trust him. He's got
A chip out of
he's
context.
got serious hair. Okay, you don't
I
have hair
trust
like that and fuck
Miyamoto.
around.
He's got
all right?
the juice.
I don't trust Miyamoto. That guy. No.
Chip out of
He
context.
Me Too'd me. He We Too'd me. We've got a Discord sticker for that. If you've gotten Me Too'd by Miyamoto. So let's talk about some games.
Yeah, I'm really excited because, especially talk about Doom, because honestly, Phil has delivered again. Like
Yeah, you're big
Microsoft
on
is
Phil,
on.
and Kevin's
Microsoft's
anti-Phil.
on
Maybe you guys
fire.
can fight about that.
I am anti-Phil on this
Yes.
one, but I
You said
do. Phil didn't screw up Doom, so good job, Phil.
Phil's been giving us a lot of hits lately on Game Pass, though. Claire Obscure, Doom.
He has lately. It's been good.
It's been good, so we'll see how that goes. They can keep up with this.
Sony. Oh, by the way, what was that thing you sent me, Kevin?
Wow, what are you guys just having
thing?
personal conversations
Sony-
all the time? Just
Sony.
oh,
There was
Sony's
a
not dead.
podcast. It came up in my feed, and the name of the podcast was "PlayStation's Not Dead," and I was like, they had to have listened.
And
to
they have a
it.
song.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a
Yeah.
song and everything.
people take our catchphrases.
PlayStation
but
ain't dead.
Stellar Blade's coming soon to PC, and that's going to get modded to shit. I'm probably going to play it in a couple weeks here. So Sony's doing just fine, John. They're selling their games everywhere as well, except
No,
for Xbox.
Sony.
Yeah. Oblivion
right,
2,
we got
Yama
a
says.
lot of
That's right.
ground.
Phil is delivering.
Yeah.
No, honestly, like seriously, Microsoft's on fire right now with these releases.
They are, except for the price increases. They are on fire.
Well, that's Nintendo's fault.
It's Microsoft's fault for putting all their eggs in China.
What? What does that have to do with game development?
No, I'm talking about the price of the system.
Yeah.
What do you want them to make it in Seattle? I mean, this is the reality, though.
That's where. But everyone's making their shit in Southeast Asia. So what are you talking about?
Yeah, but it's specifically.
Are you buying the
China.
German-made PlayStation? Like what?
No, like Nintendo moved a lot of their stuff to Vietnam, so it wouldn't be affected. So
I know, but
why is a 1050 Ti like
all the semiconductors
bucks,
are coming from Taiwan, though? So whatever.
Look,
all right.
Nobody cares because they don't need an Xbox to play Xbox games. You need a Switch to play Switch games unless you emulate. So Phil doesn't give a shit. He's got Xbox on your TV, on your fridge, on your trash can.
He's selling razor blades.
Yeah, Phil did it again. All right, so let's talk about some stuff because I did play some other games. The biggest thing I want to talk about is the Dune Awakening beta weekend. I got invited in from the developers Funcom. They are the team that brought us the other survival craft, Conan. But that was just Conan by name. This, on the other hand, is really steeped in Dune-ness, okay? And it is a survival craft
It's funny
MMO.
you said that.
We'll
because
see.
Listen, I know there's like all these Dune comic books and shit. I mean, Conan. But I remember playing that Conan game. I'm like, this is Conan the Barbarian?
Yeah, Conan Exiles wasn't really Conan-ish. It just kind of felt like a prehistoric survival craft. This really felt like Doom from the moment it starts. I've talked about the setup before because I did do the character creator before. You know, you get right in with the Reverend Mother, talks to you, the hand in the box and the Gom Jabbar, and you're going to Arrakis. You have to wake the sleeper. You don't even know anything about Dune, do you?
My Italian grandmother made that.
Yeah,
I love
it was
that
good.
dish.
Gabagool. Now, I like the setup. I picked like Benny Jesuit as like my class, so I had like a whole talent tree and everything. But the cutscenes, the voice acting, a good story I really like right away. The music, the sandworms, the setting, the lore from the NPCs, by the way. It feels like if you're a Dune fan, which a lot of people are. I know, John, you're anti-Dune because you heard about the Sting movie in the 80s you keep going back to. But there are new Dune movies by Denis Villeneuve.
That's what tainted me. The
well,
weird
I even went
kids
back
like
and watched
that.
those. I actually went back and watched those. Like, I like it a lot.
Those? Isn't there just one?
Well, no, there's also, I'm sorry, there was a mini series as well I went back and watched.
Okay. Did you watch the Sting movie?
I did watch the Sting movie. That one was okay. I think the mini series was much better than the Sting movie, but my favorite would be the new Dune movies. I think I'm looking forward to the third one, which is going to really, like, the last one was kind of, like, these have been a really, like a setup. But it's going to be, well, let's not talk about the Dune movies. Let's talk about the game. So anyway, I do like that it has all this Dune-ness in it, okay? And it comes out in a couple of weeks.
Too much sand, right?
I'm definitely going to play. There's a lot of sand.
Fix that issue?
You're thirsty a lot.
Sand, in places you shouldn't.
Well, yeah, I did have sand in my butt, to be honest with you. No, but here's my favorite thing about this game. And yes, it does have some of this, like, it's a survival craft, and not in the Valheim way where you like get perks from it, where it's like you kind of need it. Like, you're sunstroke, so you have to stay in the shade, and you're thirsty, so you're flashing, and it's like, oh, I got to keep this up and keep that up. But it starts to pick up pretty fast as you build your little base. But the thing I liked the best that I found very addicting was you have this cutter tool. It's like a ray gun where you trace on like objects or rocks to cut them up. So you'll scan it, you'll see a little zigzag, you copy the zigzag, and then it explodes and you get the stuff out of it. And I found it to be like a very relaxing, addicting, almost No Man's Sky type gun loop thing going on. And that's what I really liked about it. Just even the collecting was fun, and you really felt like you were in the Dune universe. They really nailed that, as opposed to Conan, where they really, really didn't. Thank you, Young Gun, for the sub, by the way. And also, I like the fact that the building felt the building in Conan was pretty cool, but the building here is interesting. You kind of like lay it out first, and then you could see like the frame, and then you just sort of build after. So you can kind of, even if you don't have the materials, maybe like kind of lay the frame out first. So I didn't mess around with the building too much. I honestly just wanted to explore the world because I already ran into all this crazy stuff from Dune, like there, you drink the you inhale the spice and you get taken to this like other world, and then all of a sudden it becomes this like puzzle mini game, and you're trying to get like, I don't know, like it really started going off into all this weird shit with Dune, and I feel like it might even be setting up something. Like you could probably, I don't know, go watch the movies, play this, and there might be setting up in a way for the third movie. Like there's things I didn't know. Of course, I don't know everything or much about it, but I just felt like I was learning about Dune and seeing Easter eggs in here, and none of that was in Conan. So I think if you're a Dune fan, you should play this even if you don't like survival crafts, just because it's a Dune game. But if you like survival crafts and you know it's a little janky because the combat blows, let's get that out of the way.
It does. Now, are there like tanks and flying vehicles and shit like that?
There's like vehicles and stuff. Yeah,
you have to like craft them later, or
yeah. Most of like honestly, I was running around on foot for most of the time and just really getting lost in running from the sandworms and just kind of exploring, leveling up my little Bene Gesserit tree. Like the weirding way is there, and that's something they haven't shown in the movies yet. It was in the miniseries. The weirding way is something that the Bene Gesserit can do, and sort of like these different. They found a way to incorporate these skills with classes, and I thought that was very cool. So you feel like you're actually part of these different like Dune factions, and they turn them into classes with a talent tree. So look, it's not perfect. The combat is definitely janky. It feels like it's from 2005. Feels probably like a little bit better than Conan, but you're not going to play this for like the tight combat.
But this is a survival craft game.
Yeah, Valheim combat wasn't great either.
But is it like Conan where you can build a house and then someone destroys it when you're away, kind of a thing?
Well, that wasn't really going on unless you're on like a PvP server. That's the thing I don't understand yet, because they just threw me on a server. I don't know if it's like. I did see other players running around.
I remember going into someone's house on Conan and fucking with their shit.
That could be like the settings on the server, though.
Okay.
How are the graphics? Because
graphics were pretty good.
Pretty low specification requirement.
Yeah, the graphics were pretty good. I mean, they're not like mind-blowing, but it is this big, huge open world where there's other people, and there's a lot of like environmental things like sandstorms that go on, and the worms come out and they look badass and you're running from them and stuff. So
so are you just like walking sand? Do you know
anything about Dune? There are like actually cities and built up stuff.
Sand. A house. Here's a house here. And then you go in the house and you take their jug of water, and then it's sand.
John, have you seen the Dune movies?
Sand.
Dune
I told
Dune
you.
Are just sand.
No, all the weird
sand.
kids when I was a kid had Dune action figures. The cool kids had Star Wars. I went to some kid's house.
Well, I think Dune is cooler than Star Wars.
No.
I think it's more steeped in philosophical. Like,
I don't remember anybody having Dune.
I went to this weird kid's house. And
I never
had Dune
really
action
heard of it
figures.
As a kid. I didn't know about it till later. I have to admit, I wasn't into like sci-fi as a kid. It
was like the kids that had like black hole stuff. Like that was also weird. Like
your kids really into black holes? I mean,
no, the Disney black hole movie.
I've never even heard of that. What is that?
What? You don't know that movie?
Stephen Hawking black hole? What are you talking about? I've never heard of black hole. I don't know what black hole is.
You don't know black hole?
No, what is black hole?
It's another one of those like kind of.
I've never heard of black hole. What year is that? Before my time? I don't know.
That was 1979. It was another one of those movies that was trying to capitalize on Star Wars.
79.
I don't think that was a thing. I grew up on HBO.
I was pretty young then.
I didn't see any of that.
It was a thing in the
80s
80s for sure.
I never heard of black hole, and I know like pretty much everything, and I never heard of black hole. So maybe it's just before my time. Anyway, Dune, this game. Check it out if you do like Dune, or you just like survival crafts and want to play all of them. I think it's like enough to hold its own there, but it's not perfect. It's more just cool because it's Dune and it's a little survival craft / MMO. So I'll be playing that a bit more when it comes out.
So can you only craft glass in this game because you have only sand? Like
yes, you've never seen a Dune movie. You haven't seen Dune 1 and 2. So you don't know anything about it.
Okay, no, I don't.
You would appreciate it.
I'm maybe.
You like? Didn't you like the new Blade?
I haven't seen them either.
Didn't you like? You guys are both crazy. These two Nintendo losers haven't even seen the new Dune movies. You would like it, John, because it's from the guy who did Blade Runner, the new Blade Runner, the director. That director is great, and they're well done.
I was gonna watch it actually like a week or two ago, and I saw it was like 3 hours long. I'm like, I ain't got time for this.
You're playing with Nintendo figurines, and I'm watching Dune. Okay.
Like, I don't have time for this shit.
We got to get excited about getting excited. We don't have time.
Dennis Cranky. His name is Dennis, not Jacques, right? I don't know. I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. But yeah, check out the Dune movies. The third one's coming at some point. We'll see. Anyway, I did also play a lighter game, just blowing through some of these. Cash Cleaner Simulator. I saw it trending on Steam. They sent us a key, and I'm like, you know what? I'll try it. So this might be one
money
for
laundering?
You. Kind of. You collect bills, you put them in a stack, you bind a stack, you create a money pack. You combine money packs to get wrapped packs in cling wrap, and then it turns into a money block, and then you're putting them in these money counting machines. You're putting them in boxes, and you're stuck in this room. There's opera music playing. The Russians love this game on Steam. Like there's all these Russian reviews or whatever. It's just funny. You in a room with cash. Deliveries come in. You order things on your cell phone. There's apps on your cell phone. If you love being trapped in a small area. There's a lot of these
games where you're in a room just doing tasks. Like, right?
Yes, but I like it. I kind of like it. Maybe I have like a Stockholm Syndrome thing, but I did like that I was in this tiny area. I had one thing to do, and it just kept getting better. The progression was like, you have this, now you're going to get this. And like, I could see how this could get addicting. It did give me a little bit of stress, this game, because I was like, I don't like the idea of like, I don't know, I was picking up all these bills and I was counting them, and I'm like, I'm going to fuck up how much is in here. Like, I got like, you know, my woman brain kind of like fried out or something. But like, I could see why people are, if you love money, okay, my grandmother would have loved this. If you love money, okay, and you're just like obsessed with money.
So it's like you're in a back room of a casino just counting
you're just
bills
counting.
in a machine.
Yes, you're packing, you're counting. But I was just making these crazy
But where's
stacks.
the money?
How
what
much
is
was
the
in
setup? What's the setup
It's like
here,
you have a delivery for cash. The cash has to come from you. Here's an order from Phil, okay? Phil needs $7,000. You've got to count. You've got to stack. You've got to put it in a box, you ship it out. Phil needs $7,000 to pay, you know, for advertising for the next Doom game. Jedi, if you like money, you should check it out.
So what I'm hearing is Nintendo should put this on the Switch too, and then you might buy it.
Oh my God. No, I mean,
but I don't understand this premise, Michelle. So you're in a room.
You're a cash cleaner. You're funneling cash
how are you
through
cleaning
you. You're
it?
the middleman. You're not cleaning it in a washing machine. You know what it means. You're cleaning
I know.
it.
You're laundering it.
You're laundering.
But how are you making it legitimate?
Because I'm a legitimate corporation, I guess, and they come to me with orders, and I've got to deliver the order to Phil in San Francisco or whatever, you know, and it's just kind of like addicting because you keep getting all these new machines, and then you have like 10 machines. I had like a bunch of machines, like cash counting machines lined up on the counter, you know, and it starts to get more automated, but I couldn't handle it. I feel like, John, this is something you would do. You would have been like, I played this for 10 hours. I need help, you know.
I'm seeing gold bars though, also.
I didn't get to that yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't. I was like overwhelmed.
Like a guy shooting money through a hoop.
Yeah, there's all sorts of shit you could do. I haven't even experienced the half of it. Look, I don't know if I will, but it was cool and it was trending, and people say it's highly addicting. So check out Cash Cleaner Simulator. Moving along quickly, they did send me something to test. The people who do A Hand of Fate, that's a whole series of games. They are coming out with their own Survivors game, like Vampire Survivors, called Hordes of Fate, but they have worked in deck building into the game. So it's a Survivors game with cards and loadouts and all this stuff. Cool concept, narrated. It's just being tested right now. But here's where I'm at with Survivor games. Look, Vampire Survivors was cool. It was the first one to do it. It was all about the layering of the weapons. Now I am kind of bored with the ones that are just walk to point A, walk to point B, and that's what this was. It was like walk to this thing, stand in the shrine, get a perk, walk to this chest, stand there, get a perk, like shit's just flying out of you. I much prefer the bullet heavens where you have to aim, where you have to dash, where you have to be more involved, where there is more things to do, even though they are Survivors likes, than just walk in a direction and not get hit, you know, or cut. So it's a cool
I get what
concept,
you're saying.
But you have to, like, it worked for Vampire Survivors. It doesn't work anymore because we've had people come along and do better things, like 20 minutes till dawn or whatever, where you aim and you shoot. And this one just isn't doing it yet. I know it's only being tested. So if they're listening to this with Hordes of Fate, you guys have to add more active abilities, okay? More aiming, more dashing, more maybe a special I can hit once in a while, not just walk. Well, Candy Hand says I have an axe to grind today. No, I'm not shitting on it. I'm giving feedback to how to save a cool game. Like right now, you just have me walking to a chest and standing there. I can do that in real life, okay? I can walk to something and stand there. I want to play a game. Give me more game. So I don't know. Maybe it's just me with Survivors right now.
I'm still hooked on Vampire Survivors. I still play that all
There's
the
a
time.
lot of levels and characters.
Yeah,
it's mindless fun.
I'm on the Castlevania ones right now.
I was going to say, did you do the Konami stuff?
Yeah, I love that stuff.
And then here is an axe to grind, Candy Hands. You may be right because Steam had the Creature Collector Fest going on until the 19th, and I saw Creature Keeper, and I wanted something light after playing, this other stuff recently. And I picked this up, and they recommend a controller, and the keyboard wasn't working, and I didn't play anymore. I'm skipping for now. I'm going to wait. I feel like if you make a game on Steam, you need to have proper keyboard support, including bindings. And when I turn a game on and I can't play with my keyboard on a PC properly, I'm just not going to waste my time. Now,
that's
how
a
do
big
you guys
miss,
feel
by
about
the way.
that?
Yeah, that's a huge miss.
Okay. Yeah.
I was going to say, I'm not a keyboard mouse guy, but yeah.
It depends on the game, right? Like, but if I'm going to do a racing or a flying game, controller,
Yeah, I'm looking at the reviews here. It does have
platformer.
It's a shame because it was a solo developer. It's $13. It looked pretty cool.
What is the game?
It's Creature Keeper, where you're just like collecting pets and fighting with them and stuff, and like this open world. It's not getting great reviews. It was a solo project from one guy. I get it, but you have to have good keyboard support in a PC game first and foremost, and then add controller support.
Okay, looking at this game, I don't see why it wouldn't have keyboard support.
Well, it was supposed to be working, but none of my things were reacting to it, and I'm just trying to see some of the reviews. It feels like it should be fun, but it's not. Collecting monsters, having quests.
What is this, a Pokemon
kind of
style RPG-ish?
The game locked and crashed. I mean, it sounds like the UI is bad, combat's boring. Sounds like people are kind of pooping on it. I mean, I didn't even get a chance to play. It looks pretty cool, but I think have faith with it because like he nailed the art, he nailed the presentation. Like everything looks good about it. I think with one person though, they just needed a little more time maybe to kind of refine it. So check out Creature Keeper, cool. But if you're a controller person, for me with keyboard, I couldn't work it out. And then of course, Doom. Excited to talk about Doom the Dark Ages with you guys in a bit. And I am just drinking some plain water. John, what did you do over there? You had a busy week.
Kinda.
What do you mean, kinda? What is that supposed to mean? You played 4 games, at least.
Sure. So Captain Blood, let's talk about that. Michelle, you talked about Captain Blood on
a bonus show.
We did, on our bonus show. And you said that it was a John game. So I saw it on PlayStation. They had a demo. And I'm like, I'm grabbing this right now. Okay. I was in the living room. And I didn't know the story behind this game. Kevin, do you know the story about this game at all?
No, it looked cool though. I was listening to Micro and it does look like a John game.
Well,
like
Michelle and I talked about it. It was before we knew about the story, right? So Captain Blood is a game that was first announced in 2003. And it was going to be on the original Xbox, okay? And it was featured at E3 2004 and all this. And then they said, no, we're going to move it to 360, okay? And then they were developing it for the 360. And there was even a trailer like in 2008. And then the company went bankrupt, okay?
Yeah.
And that was it.
That happens a lot.
But they had worked on the game for like a long time,
so
like 5 years.
So that's why it looks like a PS2 game. It probably was.
And then, it looks like a 360 game.
Yeah.
And then I guess some guys from GOG went out and got the rights to it, all the assets. They did everything they could to bring this game to life.
GOG is Cyberpunk Studio. They own that, right?
CD Projekt Red does own that, right?
Yeah. So some Polish guys, they said, no, we're going to save
they're GOG alumni, so okay. I don't know. I don't know their pedigree fully, but I know they were involved with GOG. And so like in 2020, they went out and got the rights for it, and they're like, we're going to release this because we saw it at E3, whatever, with trailer in 2008. And so they put it out, okay? And this is absolutely a game of that era, original Xbox. And I'm okay with that, okay? Visually, it looks like shit, but there's something about it, Kevin and Michelle, that kind of makes it work in some weird way. It looks like a PS2 game. It looks like original Xbox.
It looks fun. Like that's all that matters.
There is a demo out there that I tried, and I thought you would like it, John, because it.
Well, let me tell you, I played the demo. I finished the demo. The demo is like 2 chapters with a boss battle at the end, and the game is so simplistic. The combat is so basic. The camera is garbage.
Yeah.
And basically, it's a hack and slash beat 'em up game. You're in the Caribbean. The Spanish are invading. You're English. And there's a lot of filthy Spanish stuff that is said in this game, by the way. We got to get those dirty Spanish out of here. Like that kind of stuff. Yeah. And they're just invading, and you're Captain Blood. You have very limited moves.
Is
you
that
have some
their insult, the dirty Spanish?
Yeah, I think so.
They got to do better than that.
We got to get rid of the dirty Spanish. But I think mate, whatever.
Yeah.
So,
and mates
yeah. But basically, it's waves and waves of bad guys with guns and swords and stuff attacking you. You're beating them up. Visually, I really think it looks like fucking Stormwind, the whole opening sequence.
Yeah, there's some wowness to the game for sure, visually.
Yeah, like there really is, like with the visuals and the architecture and
there's
the buildings.
even pirates and WoW and stuff I was thinking about when I was playing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the perfect time for a game like this to come out too, because like 360 and PS3 era games are like super popular right now.
Yeah.
Are they really, Kevin? Like, what's the hot
puzzled.
360 game? Like, someone comes in and they like, what game can't you keep in stock?
I mean, it's always the same stuff, like Grand Theft Auto, Black Ops. It's all Call of Duties and Black Ops. But I mean, even like the rare stuff, like stuff you can't get anymore, like NBA Jam and stuff they're not making currently.
Really?
Are the real popular one. Def Jam, stuff like that.
Yeah, but the guy who pooped in your store was a 360 guy. So
he was a 360 guy.
Yeah, we got to be careful with recommending.
I mean, listen,
that.
the 360
right now.
The 360 is the only console I have in my living room plugged into my TV.
Guitar Hero.
And a
makes
lot
it
of the
worth it.
360 games work on Xbox, you know.
Well, but not Tony Hawk, though.
So, no, not Tony Hawk, but there's a good chunk that work.
But that's why I have my 360 to play the old Tony Hawk games, and they're still great, you know?
They're awesome.
But anyway, so this is a game from that era. The combat's shit. The camera is garbage. But I'm telling you, it's fucking fun. like I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I bought the full game.
Try it.
I bought the full game on PS5. And by the way, if you're gonna like buy this game, don't play the demo, because you'll spend an hour finishing the demo, and then if you buy it, you have to start fucking over and do the first.
I think all demos should have like where you can.
Yeah.
I was pretty fucking pissed, to be honest. So if you're gonna buy it, just fucking buy it. It's on sale right now on the PS5, and it's also on PC, right, Michelle?
It's on
Yeah,
Switch,
there's
too.
a demo on Steam.
Oh, it's on Switch. Okay,
Yep, digital only.
I recommend this. It's mindless, but it's fun, and I kept coming back to it over the weekend. I totally recommend it. And there's something just charming about the graphic style. It's hard to explain. Like, I just felt like I was playing a 360 game, and obviously it is, but
yeah, I don't think people mind going back for old school graphics now. But it's
No,
that
not at
whole
all.
it looks like
Not at
shit
all.
thing. People are kind of over with indie titles. They don't care.
The camera though is kind of the camera's so you can't rotate the fucking camera, okay?
Yeah.
And you're constantly walking down dead ends and you don't even know it because you can't see where you're going sometimes, you know? And, or you're just walking into like 10 guys that you can't see because you can't rotate the fucking camera, and all of a sudden they just appear in front of you down the hallway. Like shit like that's kind of annoying. But I don't know. I actually really do recommend this game. It's not getting good reviews, but I'm okay with it, you know? I like it. It's fun. And then I did try a game called Necrophosis, Michelle. They sent us a key.
Necrophosis, is it maybe?
Necrophosis.
Necrophosis. Necrophosis. It looks almost like a indie Doom, right? What is it?
Well, it looks, the first thing, it has a Geiger look, like Aliens. You know, the guy did all architecture in Aliens and all that.
Yep.
It has that look. And when I went into it, I thought it was going to be like a clone or a copy of Scorn. Remember that game?
Right, yeah.
Scorn?
Yep.
Which also had that Geiger look to it. This is a walking simulator. And I didn't know this going in. Yeah, it's a puzzle game.
I thought it was supposed to. Puzzle games aren't walking sims if there's puzzles. You have a gun, though, don't you?
No, there's nothing. You
see
can't
a
die.
picture where you're holding a gun. It has very positive reviews.
You can't die in this game.
Okay.
I played like an hour of it, and I think the game's only like 2 hours long. I'm like halfway through it.
Okay.
Like you can't die. It's a narrative game telling some crazy ass fucking story.
Yeah,
You're
here's
like
a guy. If you're into Basinski or Geiger, grab it. So people, it's like walking around a book, an art book.
Yeah. It's so listen, like from a graphic design or whatever artistic standpoint, they
Art
nailed
was all
the
done
look.
by one guy.
Yeah. And basically you're like in some weird fucking hell, right? And you're in these little gated areas and you can't leave the area until you complete the tasks in the area. And it is telling a story, and it's all like gibberish and like mindfuck stuff and like just weird like fever dream LSD shit going on.
Journey.
Yes. But the
basically
tasks that
need
you
to
have
be
to
high
do,
to play it.
like you go up to this like skeleton and it's missing a brain. You're like, okay, well, I got to go find the brain. you go
I've
find
played puzzle games before. I kind of grew up playing them on my IBM PC. So is it a bad puzzle game or just?
It's not a gun. It's not challenging.
I see him holding a bone gun. What's the bone gun?
Well,
intimidation.
I don't know if there's a gun. I never had a gun. You do pick up things that might look like a gun, like a bone.
Maybe it's just,
But you pick up relics. You can rotate them and look at them.
You can't put that in the image. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh,
that's not a
nobody's
gun.
holding it.
There's a little skelly man on it.
That's part.
Okay, so they put that in there on purpose.
Well, I thought it was going to be a shooter because of those screenshots.
There's some cool screenshots though, with like the moon coming up through the black hole.
No, it's very
sweet.
atmospheric.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a horror, scary game. It's not scary at all. It's really not.
I mean, it might in Scorn they had to have like blocking stuff because people were too frightened.
But you'll pick up like a bone or something, and then you rotate it, and a face pops out and screams, "Ah!" like that kind of shit. Like maybe that's
jump
what
scares.
Yeah.
But a lot of the puzzles are like, there will be like something missing on a statue. And you just got to figure out what goes in the slot.
So you explore and you find it.
That's
and you put
literally
it
that's literally the puzzles I've experienced. Like it's like, and then when you put all the pieces in the missing slots, then something moves and you can go to the next area, and then you find a statue with missing
things
eyeballs.
In holes. Check out Crofus.
Yeah.
Fis.
But I think if you're into that Geiger aesthetic and you want to just be in that world, like low pressure, it's pretty cool. I guess.
All right.
You didn't hate it.
I didn't hate it. That's what he's going to say.
Yeah, it's okay. It's a short little narrative, like walking simulator. And then Wildgate Ted.
Shout out Ted. Invited
Ted
you.
Aiken sent me a key or whatever to get into this like kind of beta for this game, Wildgate. And I played it over the weekend shortly on my Steam Deck.
And this is from Mike Morheim, former CEO of Blizzard's studio. This is their first thing.
Yeah. So I have to tell you, I played it on my Steam Deck. I did the tutorial, okay? And then I started one of the multiplayer matches, and it ran like shit. And I'm like, I'll just play it on my PC later. Well, I didn't realize that they were ending the beta or trial yesterday. So I didn't get to fully play it, except for the shitty experience I had with bad internet connection. But I'll tell you what this is, and I was actually really impressed by what I saw and what I did.
This looks cool.
PvP multiplayer shooter that blends tactical ship-to-ship combat.
It's PvP, PvE. Mm-hmm. People are saying it's like Sea of Thieves in space. Okay. And what it is you have 20 players on a map, okay? And there's 5 ships, with each ship having a crew of 4, okay? And you have to maintain the ship and upgrade it, and then go after an artifact, and then get out. The first team to find the artifact and get to the Wild Gate wins the game, okay? Or you kill everybody else and you win the game. And the way it starts out is that you start out kind of spread apart from the other players, and you have to basically start upgrading your ship. And you can leave the ship, you could jetpack out. There's like these ice bricks that you can mine outside the ship and then use that for energy to level up your ship or heal it. And there's also like fuel, like asteroids that you can mine. And then there's also like these points of interest that you can go out to that have like the PvE elements that will have upgrades or weapons and things that you can get in there. So you're basically trying to do all of this shit, okay? Bring it back to your ship. Someone commands the ship, flies it around. And then you can also board other players' ships and go fuck with them. But really you're trying to find the artifact that's somewhere in the level, and it's in some building or space station, and you can go out there with like these little probes and scan things and look for things and mark them on the map. And then once you find the artifact, everyone is alerted that the artifact has been found, and you're trying to get to the exit, and everyone's coming after you to kill you. That's like the game, right? Mm-hmm. And this gate doesn't open immediately. So basically you have like 20 minutes or so that you're just going around preparing, looking for things. And then when you get the artifact and if the gate's open, you can then leave.
I don't like the clunky old Blizzard art style to it, though.
Well, people also really say it's kind of like Overwatch. And I don't really get that. But
yeah.
But
I can see the style a little
I
bit.
really liked what I was doing in this game, though.
That's good.
I want to really play this for real. I don't know when the next like trial
I don't know.
or beta.
It's coming out 2025, so probably soon.
Yeah, I don't even know what you want to call what I did. Is it a trial? Is it a beta? I mean,
just like
I don't know.
Open
I don't know when the next one
preview
is, and I'm actually really bummed because I was looking forward to doing it on my PC. Like the tutorial ran fine on the Steam Deck. I had to turn everything down big time though. It looked like a fuzzy mess. But the online multiplayer was not happening with the Steam Deck outside on my Wi-Fi.
Well, your Steam Deck's more powerful than the Switch too, so better be careful.
It's not.
It is. That's the guy with the chip said it. The guy with the Kim Jong-un hair said it. No,
the guy that actually. Yeah, no.
He doesn't know what he's talking about. He was on our show. He don't know what he's fucking talking about.
What's that?
I was going to say this game looks like they used all the colors that Doom didn't.
Yeah, it's the opposite.
Well, yeah,
of Doom.
It looks like a box of crayons, kind of like.
It's a box of crayons. All right, what are you drinking, John?
I'm drinking a pineapple high noon.
All right, Kevin, I saw you posted in the Discord you were holding Capcom Fighting Collection 2. Did you end up playing? I saw some hype about that game.
I did. I love this.
But that's King of, I noticed right away that's King of Fighters on there though, right? Is that SNK or
no, it's got
it's got SNK King of Fighters shit, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's got the Capcom versus SNK. So yes.
Yeah.
But it's the Capcom version. There was an SNK versus Capcom which was made by SNK. So this is
is that? I didn't know that.
Yeah, so each company made one. They made an SNK versus Capcom and then Capcom versus SNK. So that one's on here and then Capcom vs. SNK 2, Fighters History, Street Fighter Alpha 3, Power Stone 1 and 2, Project Justice, and Plasma Sword. And I got it mainly because I'm a huge Power Stone fan. I like Street Fighter 2, so those are Street Fighter Alpha 3. I'll be playing those mainly. But I love Power Stone. I played through it. I beat the boss. I tried to see if anybody's online.
What is Power Stone? I don't even know what that is.
It's a fighting game. They made two of them, but the first one is 1-on-1, and there's basically a punch, kick, and jump, and you can grab guys too. But when you hit a guy hard, it'll knock a stone out. When you collect 3 stones, you kind of go like almost like Super Saiyan, like Dragon Ball Z. And you have extra powers, and then you just go until you beat the other player. But it's fun. There's shit to pick up and throw at the guys. There's all kinds of weapons. You can pick up swords, guns. It's kind of like an earlier Smash Brothers. It's kind of like Smash Brothers.
Is it?
Especially the part 2, but I like the 1-on-1 Power Stone 1. The cool thing about this collection is you can play online. Now the game officially doesn't come out till Friday, so I wasn't able to get into an online match. It kept failing trying to find people. One of the perks of having a game store, getting it early. So I'm looking forward to wrecking people in Power Stone 1, which it's never been online ever, so it's kind of cool.
But you said it's like Smash Bros. Is it a lot of players at once?
On Power Stone 2, it's 4 players. So you have these big arenas, and you're throwing shit at each other. There's the arena's always changing. Like one, you're on these 2 ships, and like one will go underwater, and you have to jump over to the other one. And I think Power Stone is like the class of this collection. And
that was a Dreamcast game.
Yeah,
People
that was
saying
Dreamcast.
It's better
it
than
also came
Super
out
Smash Brothers. I googled it, and that was the first thing that came up. Better than Super Smash.
I was always a Power Stone guy. It was also on PS Vita. It came out on, it was on PS Vita or PSP, but you could play it on the Vita. But it was never online. And the other thing too, which is kind of surprising, being it's a Capcom game, is the full thing's on the cartridge or the disc. Where a lot of the Capcom games nowadays are the key cards, where you get a part of it and then you got to download the rest. But on this one, it is fully on.
Is key card now part of your vocabulary when you're talking about games?
It's been the funny thing is, I think it's great that people are waking up to all this stuff. I've known this was a thing for years, and they've been doing it for forever. All the companies do it. Doom, for example, has nothing on the disc.
People are mad about this. PS5 fans furious as Microsoft ships Doom with 85 megabits.
Yeah, Indiana Jones had less data than an NES cartridge. So, like,
but Kevin, from your business perspective, though, that's okay, right?
Right. It's like a happy medium.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I don't like it, but it's better than digital only. I'd rather have that because you can at least transfer your license.
But there was enough room for it on the CD or whatever people are saying, on the disc rather, that there was enough room for a
Blu-ray disc can hold
up to 100, and this was less than.
Yeah, how big was the install?
They said there was room.
An Ultra HD Blu-ray can hold up to 100 gigs. A standard Blu-ray can hold up to 50 gigs. dual layer.
Yeah, so they'd have to go with the Ultra one for $100. But I mean, games are getting bigger and companies are just getting cheaper. I mean, I guess it's a happy medium.
But also, too, I think another factor too, though, is that the game goes gold. They make the duplication of the discs and the printing of the case and whatever. And then it gives them a few more weeks to keep working on the game, right? And
no, you can always do a day one update. You can always do a day one update. And there usually is. Yeah. This is something else.
Yeah, Sony's usually a little bit better. I would say most of their games have a playable version on the disc, but Microsoft was always, most of them were not playable. It was just a way to direction to send your system where to download it.
Okay.
So they've always been doing it. And Nintendo, for the most part, most of their games are fully on the cartridge. I mean, they do have patches, but it was always like Capcom, Take-Two, and a couple other companies that would always do where you get just a tiny part of the game and then you had to download the rest.
Right.
So they've been doing it for a long time.
I've never been burned by Nintendo. Countless times I've gotten on a plane or went on vacation with a sealed Nintendo game. Huh?
How do you not prep the night before? You just get on a plane, you open it. You got to prep and download an update, making sure everything's working the night before.
I'm just telling you, I've done it. I've done it a few times.
Do it for you.
What?
You got to prepare the night before, John. You got to boot it up and be ready. I don't think you're getting burned. You got to be ready.
I remember like stopping at a Best Buy on the way to a hotel or something on vacation and getting a game, and then going.
And you're just like, shit. You have hotel Wi-Fi, and it's really bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you'd be surprised how often that happens, though, where someone buys a game and they don't have. All their only internet is from their phone, and good luck trying to download, the update for 100 gigabyte game off your phone.
Yeah, you're fucked.
Yeah, you're fucked. It happens all the time, especially where my store is, lower income area. That's like people's main internet connection is their phone data.
Oh my gosh, they don't have internet at their house?
They play Fortnite with that?
Yeah, it's crazy. People are nuts. They do.
Okay. That's shocking. I thought everybody had internet in their house. I don't know.
You would think, but
no. That's crazy.
Well, I mean, technically they do. They got it off their phone.
But how are they watching Netflix on the television or anything?
You can open up a hotspot on your phone and
that's crazy talk. You guys listening out there, if you're listening to us not on your home internet, well, you probably aren't. Most of them are in the car. Get some internet in your house.
I would say 99.9% of people that listen to this podcast are hardcore gamers, and they have everything.
We got people that listen that don't game. I think we've heard from even John, especially with our WoW show. They're like, we don't play Warcraft, but we listen. So you never know, Kevin. There could be just bakers listening because they like John's tomato tips.
Bakers.
Yeah.
We have a large baker community that listens.
Bakers love us. They do. Well, what else did you play?
A bunch of meat guys that want.
Oh, meat people love us. Yeah. We're big on that.
I mean, obviously, I played Doom, which we'll talk about soon. But the other thing, I did. I took one for the team, John. I wanted to see if you were telling the truth about Days Gone, where you couldn't get the.
We have a voicemail about that.
Wait, Kevin. Let's set this up here real quick. You just gave us a really good segue.
Yeah, that John didn't prep, did he?
No. What are you talking? Shut up.
Exactly.
Hey, John, Michelle, hope you guys are doing well.
Thank you.
I don't know what you guys were actually arguing about on the last episode. Those PS Plus games that you add to your library through the PS Plus subscription service, those are still very much active when you're gone. I got the Handsome Collection for PlayStation Plus, and even though I don't subscribe to it, I can still play it whenever I want. So, John, you were 100% right. They're gaslighting you, bro.
Exactly.
But you have it, but you couldn't get the free upgrade version. So, Kevin, you tested
because
$10 upgrade.
Because so I was right, because PlayStation has a select group of games that you add to your library forever, and then the PS Plus library. Kind of like when Xbox did the games for gold thing every month, right, Kevin? Mm-hmm. Remember that?
Yeah. Yep.
Those are games that are just in your library forever. So tell me your experience. Could you get the $10 upgrade?
No. Well, so what's funny is I have the disc, but I never installed it on my PS5, my PS5 Pro. But I downloaded the PS Plus version. Yeah. And I went to upgrade it, and it's like shit, it wouldn't work. So I throw in the disc.
Yeah. What happened then?
it gives me the option to do the upgrade for $10, and I take the disc out, it disappeared. So I put it back in, and I started the upgrade, and it says you have to put in the disc every time now, in order to access the upgrade. And I'm just going to tell you, I love Days Gone. There's nobody a bigger Days Gone fan than me. I love that game. I've 100% of everything. I do like doing the horde mode that they added to this. But like graphics wise, it really doesn't look that different.
Looks great on.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I think it was it's like such a minimal upgrade that it wasn't. I don't think it's worth it. But
it's not a remaster because when I looked into this, people on Reddit were saying, "Yeah, just go get a used copy, man." And the games are cheap now. You could do the upgrade. What does a used copy cost, Kevin?
That game's in the like $20 range. It's like about $25. So
it's still cheaper than $50.
Yeah, but then you got to pay $10 on top of that, or do you want to just pay the $50? I don't know. I don't think the upgrade was worth it, in my opinion. I love Days Gone, and I think you're good enough. I'm just telling people out there, you're good enough. Even if you get a used copy, you just play it, because they did upgrade it a little bit. It runs better on the PlayStation anyway. It went from like 30 frames to 60 frames, and everything looks sharper and cleaner anyway. So I don't know. I thought it was kind of a ripoff. I don't think it was a true remaster.
Wow. So Sony made a little misstep there. They should have just given it out.
Yeah. Maybe Phil would have done a better job, John.
Probably.
I think. Well, I mean, Xbox does do a better job with bringing the old games forward, right? They do.
Yeah, they do. I mean, Sony just loves remastering them over and over and over and over again. I would love to see a Days Gone 2, but hopefully this will do well enough that we get a Days Gone 2, because that's like one of my favorite games on PlayStation. But
yeah, I hope they do something with it. I think it was weird to just abandon it. I don't know.
And I did play one more thing. I'll just do it real quick.
Okay.
I know this game is old, and I don't know if you guys covered it or not, but for some reason on my PlayStation it came up. It was called Off the Grid. It was a battle royale game, third person shooter, where the whole hook is you.
I have this installed. Kevin never played it.
I think it was kind of fun, but it has a lot of bugs, and I don't know if it's gonna take off. I guess it's been out for about 6-7 months, but you don't have arms, or you have arms, or
you don't have arms.
They're all mechanical. So when you open up a loot crate, you'll have newer arms and legs that'll pop out, and you'll attach them.
Oh, I did play this game. I did with the fall damage and all that. Like you can
fly around, and I
did play this. I played this on PC.
I actually kind of liked it, and I know it was a little.
I did
janky,
play this,
but I don't know. I would say try it. It's free right now. It's on PlayStation 5. It's on PC.
Can't you fall off a building and you don't get hurt? Right?
Yeah,
right?
there's no fall damage.
Yeah, that's what it was.
You can fly around. And,
I remember it.
You can even jump and fly up on top of a building. It's kind of neat. So, and you get new abilities through. It's Call of Duty with kind of a little hitch, where you
no arms. Call of Duty.
Yeah, no arms. Yeah, but you get.
What happened to all these guys?
They had their arms sold in the black market.
There's a story where it's like, you're on a reality show. The story is retarded, but the game's kind of
on a reality show that removes your arms.
They beat off too much. Buddha says, mention the precinct, bro. I mean, I did see the precinct trending today on Twitter. They had a really big PR push. It's like a police top-down game that's getting a little buzz, the precinct, but none of us played Buddha.
I sold a bunch of them today.
Really? Yeah, there's some buzz around this game. A lot of people were coming
in to pick it up.
Is it like old school Grand Theft Auto?
I had no idea that it was even coming out, to be honest. Wasn't on my radar.
What is it? I'm looking at it. It looks like
I think it looks like be able to get a key, because they reached out to us. I thought it was old and it just came out of early access or something. It was already out before it came out today, I think.
It looks like a game. It looks like a PC game from 2000.
Yeah.
Everybody that came in to pick it up kind of looked like Buddha. It was like
a drug addict. Guys. What are you saying?
Sorry, it was just older guy. Not that Buddha's older. Buddha, I love you, Buddha. But it's like
there weren't 20-year-olds coming in, going give me that precinct game. No, because they hate the cops. These youngins, So it's I don't know what it is. Let me look at the reviews. Is it people liking it?
Those are the guys that have money. So.
I don't know. If you ever want to role play as a cop, I think this is the game to play.
This really looks like a game from 1999 to me.
It does. It looks like a phone game. Sorry, Buddha. We just shit all over you in multiple ways. Yeah. I hope you're okay with that. And no glass table even. So I blame Kevin.
Oh, Buddha. I love Buddha. He's a good
Buddha
dude.
keeps things exciting. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
All right, Kevin, what else? What are you drinking?
Oh, I'm drinking Mountain Dew Zero Sugar.
All right, this is it, guys.
Hey, let's talk about Doom, the Dark Ages. We have a round table. We setting up. It's a pentagram.
Phil is the new king, just like the old
Phil
king.
doesn't own the game though, John, because it's everywhere.
He owns Bethesda.
Yep.
He definitely does.
No shit. Pal world.
I don't feel like this music is setting up the vibe of Doom.
Okay, so
though.
all right, so Doom came out tomorrow, or comes out right tomorrow
Early
officially.
access, you can play starting last night. And Phil, you did the Phil upgrade, right?
I did, and it was a little disappointing. I mean, what was disappointing was the $32 I had to pay,
Got to pay for early access,
which I also spent for Indiana Jones and got hardly anything out of that. I got a Temple of Doom shirt and an art book.
I
but
really
this
think
time,
the Game Pass has to give you the earliest version. I think Phil is slipping here, John. It pisses me off. I refuse to do it, so I just picked it up on Steam.
One.
Yeah, it's not day one. It's technically not day one. I don't like it.
Yeah, I know. It shouldn't be $32. If you're a Game Pass Ultimate subscriber, $10 is okay, $5, but $32, that's a little greedy.
I feel like you're nickel and diming at that point if you're already subscribing. I think it's wrong.
But they're framing it as a digital deluxe.
True. You
upgrade.
get the DLC, you get an art book.
Yeah,
so to be fair, that does
the art
also
book's
happen.
kind of cool, to be fair. Did you guys check that out?
John, I think you mentioned it.
I downloaded all the shit, but no, I didn't look at the art book. I haven't.
Art book's kind of cool because it has the music
Okay.
jamming while you're going through all the art, and it's kind of neat.
I'll say this though, I started looking at the art book of Indiana Jones, and I stopped because it had spoilers in it. It was showing me all the levels and stuff.
Right.
I don't want to see this yet, So I kind of feel like you want to look at that later, right? Not initially. Is it going to spoil things?
It probably could. I just I looked at it for a couple minutes tops. I didn't go crazy looking, at everything in there. I'm sure it probably could if you're seeing the concept art for later bosses and stuff like that.
Right.
Well, how do you want to do this, John? Do you like to go to music and graphics and be boring and go through everything all segmented, or can we just be like?
Well, no. Get your bag of tricks out here. Just zip it up.
I like, how I like to do things. I'm just instant.
Yeah, you want to go to the finish line right now, Michelle?
It. Let's go right to the finish line.
No, we're gonna edge the fuck out of this.
No,
okay,
let's go right to the finish line. Let's just get this over with, clean.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Doom is kind of all action, isn't it?
It is. But the thing I thought was interesting is sort of talking about this versus Eternal. Right away, these are two different games.
They are.
And
they're definitely
that's
different.
What's cool about it, because it's not the same game for the last 20 years.
All right, so let's set this up properly. So what's our history with Doom? And where did we play the game? That's what I want to know. Michelle, go first.
I played on Steam. My history with Doom is, I guess, I've been playing them since I was a kid because my dad liked them always. I liked Castle Wolfenstein, but he liked the Dooms. So we had them on, it was kind of always around growing up and just always a thing I knew. Doom. You knew Doom, right? It was, there was nothing, it was just it's iconic.
Right.
It is.
Kevin?
I played on my PS5 Pro.
Oh. Now, how do you think is the Pro delivered for you? Do you feel like that's a worthy upgrade? Is it noticeably different?
You always sidetrack our round two.
No, it's an honest question because I'm curious.
But it varies from game to game. It depends on the game. Some games no, some games yes. It's worth it for me because it's a tax write-off. I honestly couldn't recommend it to most people.
I've been hesitant to buy that because I feel like it's not really...
Get it before the price goes up because you're going to want it for GTA.
Yeah.
Yeah, the price is probably going to go up,
right.
To be honest. But hopefully not. Who knows?
So I played on Xbox and PC, and I have opinions on both. And Doom is a game that... I was more of a Quake person because of the multiplayer. Mm-hmm. Quake 3 for me is id perfection. And I really didn't play a lot of Doom on the PC back in the day. I remember Doom 64 and shit, but I was always into Quake. That was my id game, right? And Doom has always been more of a single player kind of focus game.
Yep.
And which is probably why I like Quake more. But it is badass. And so let's get into it. So Michelle, first impressions on PC.
looks great, and mouse and keyboard feel great. I know you played on both, so I'm curious to hear the comparison.
Yeah, I have strong opinions about this, actually.
Yeah, being a first-person shooter, and let's be real here, I do like keyboards, okay? So I could be a little biased. I thought it felt really good on mouse and keyboard, and I did like how it looked. And I did, although I have to say, and I'm just going to get this out of the way, I'm coming off also just playing Warhammer Space Marines 2 recently, and I did kind of like the way that world looked more. This was more generic, like looking to me, but I love how the world looked. I like Space Marines. I like the Warhammer presentation better, but I still was kind of blown away by the world. I'm not going to lie. Like, I think visually they nailed it. They nailed Doom, and they nailed Dark Doom.
Yeah.
Kevin, what did you think right away?
I think it looks beautiful. I think everything ran perfect on my PS5 Pro. They give you a lot of options too to tweak.
Yeah,
I was kind of shocked too. Like even on the PlayStation, you could even change the field of vision, which is normally something you don't get on console.
Yep.
That's
good.
something you only see on
I cranked that on the PC.
That's important too because you're very zoomed in.
I'm a FOV cranker.
I'm a
every
slider
fucking
cranker
game
too, but you don't want to go fisheye, especially with ultra wide.
No, I Call of Duty. I cannot play it unless it's all the way on max.
I put it all the way on Call of Duty as well. So, but it's just nice that they have so many options, especially you usually don't get those on console.
Yeah.
You liked how it felt on controller. I liked how it felt on keyboard. Now, John, you played both.
Yes. So I played on Xbox Series X first, okay? And I was really impressed, okay? I thought the controller felt great. I was like, this is awesome. It's fast. It's frantic. But let me tell you, when I got on my PC with this game, it was like a totally different fucking game. Like, I am not kidding. Like, it felt so much faster, so much more fluid. I felt
tight
so
with their
much,
controls. They nailed it here.
Fuck.
They made sure
like,
it
when
felt
I was
good.
on the PC, I'm not even kidding. Like, I'm like, what? This is
Are you
not
playing
the
on
same.
ultra wide?
Yeah, ultra wide field view crank 3440, 1440.
That probably makes a big difference. Too.
And it was.
Yeah, but you feel connected and zoned in, fast reflex on the mouse and keyboard feels so good with the shield toss and the parry combo.
I didn't know until I played on the PC what I was actually missing on the Xbox. When I was on the Xbox in that vacuum, I'm like, this is great. This is awesome. And then I come down here, I'm like, fuck that. I'm not going on the Xbox ever again with this game.
Right. Like, that's how I feel about most things.
You're making me want to try it on PC.
Kevin, I am telling you, and this is not hyperbole, it's so much fucking better and so fun.
I will tell you one little bonus that when you're running on PlayStation is they really did work in the controller where it makes kind of like when you parry stuff, it makes a sound on the controller and it's kind of
vibrating
little touches.
We don't need that.
Cool.
Well, it's nice that they did it.
Straight out. It's nice.
Yeah.
I just think they did a really good job
with the haptic feedback shit.
All the power of hell cowering before one man. That is this game, and there are hordes of endless demons coming for Doom Guy. And the addition this time around, which really shines, and of course it's my favorite thing so far, would be the shield. And the shield's been around in the Doom world, but never quite like this, I've heard, because it wasn't in the last game. The last game was 12 guns and a chainsaw.
It's all kinds of things. It's a shield. It's a fucking...
you have a shield block, a shield charge, projectile parry, and a counter with it. A shield saw. You can toss it like Kratos' axe. But the timing with the parry, they let you tweak. So if you want a challenge, you can really put it on where you have to do a perfect parry to counter back the things coming at you. You have a melee power gauntlet. It does feel slower, more lumbering, more grounded. No, I'm talking. More lumbering, more grounded, more like you're moving like a tank. It feels more like a melee game, even though it's a shooter.
By the way, this is the biggest,
heaviest,
fast guy ever.
Well, he has a sprint this time around.
Incredible hawk.
Well, he's
moves
fast
a lot slower than Eternal, but he has a sprint. That's how
they
did it.
But he feels like he's like 500 pounds, but he's the most agile, fast guy in the whole fucking world.
And you sound like a tank. It's
I know. It's so funny though because
crazy.
He's so he sounds like fucking RoboCop walking around, but he's so fucking fast, right?
Yep.
And also you can lock on and shoot forward. So the movement is really awesome.
I want to
listen.
I want to get to one thing in this game that really sealed the deal for me.
Okay.
And it's the third chapter when you have the mech suit, the giant 100-story suit.
Yeah, I was wondering how you were going to feel about that because they throw you in a bunch of different things. There's mounted dragon combat. There's the Titan suit. What do you think of it?
Yep.
That Titan suit level, chapter 3, was I'm not, again, not hyperbole. Mm-hmm. Some of the most fun I've had gaming in a long fucking time. That level was so fucking fun.
See, didn't want to be in the thing.
Oh my God, you're in this 100-story suit destroying the
what
fucking
do you think,
world.
Kevin? Which did you prefer?
I'm in the middle on this one.
Yeah.
I liked it. But
oh my God, it was so fun.
I don't like being taken off from the ground. That's just me.
It was really fun. I agree it was fun, but it was like in the middle. It was a good breakup of all the, hardcore action. You need a breather sometimes. And then it's really like it's kind of like everything's in slow motion because you're in a big.
You're like in 100 stories. It's not slow motion though. You're in a 100-story suit. You're dodging all the attacks from the other giant 100-story suits.
Parry and the block and the charges. I felt too slow.
I did like that though. I looked down and it was kind of cool because you don't. At first I wasn't looking down. I looked down and there's like little guys running around scurrying out of your way and stuff. It was kind of cool to see.
That's true.
And it's kind of. I love the destructibility, especially when you're in the.
Yeah, that's new too, right? Destructible levels.
But the physics.
Well, the environments too. You could awesome. Like blow up everything in the environments too. Like for no reason. Like there's vents. You just shoot them and they blow up, and you're thinking something's going to be in there. The one thing I do like too is that the levels are kind of a little linear, but there's a lot of like little hallways and exploration. You can find gold bars and stuff. There's always like this occult thing in the corner. What's going on with that? With the occult members doing a ritual and you just kill them and there's all this loot around them.
Yeah, it seems like
up the gates.
Yeah,
they're the ones opening up the gates of hell.
But then you find
the character's name, John. People were
Slayer,
wondering.
Doom guy. Shut up. So give me a fucking break. Like it's fucking stupid.
What, you
this
didn't
petty
know?
shit.
I'm just saying. John, it's a
petty
joke.
Bullshit.
Pull the rod out of your
up.
ass. No, it's a fucking joke.
Okay, whatever.
Go chew your tobacco. What I like about it is they managed to keep the arcadey, like classic feel of Doom, but bring it up to a new game, new style. Like you're hitting people and ammo's coming out, right? Like you're doing so it's kind of like this mix of like new and old.
Yeah, there's a balance.
Exactly. There's a balance.
You have to
of old
kill
and
people
new.
to survive, basically.
Yeah.
It's I think it's like a heavy metal ballet almost. Like of like guns.
I feel like the game's less rhythmic than the last game, though.
They wanted to be less interruptions. Hugo said, like, you were taken out with like the glory kills last time. Like you were doing way too much, like swapping on the fly. They wanted this to flow more, where it wasn't as interrupted during combat. So that was their goal.
That is one of my negatives, though. I kind of like those glory kills. I wish there were a few more of them.
Right.
Like, I think they took out too many of them. They're still there. There's ones that are shorter, but I wish there were. I like those. I wish there were more. It's,
Yeah.
I'm just nitpicking.
Ted was saying in the Discord that he thinks Eternal is a better game, but he really likes that this one is different and he loves it. Like, I think it's a good thing here, even if it's not exactly like the last game and you like the last game better, that this is different enough where it's like you're not bored of the same Doom again. Because that might have been like, go play the last one,
This game I keep wanting to play more and more and more. Like I don't want to stop playing. Whereas Eternal, I would get frustrated sometimes and then I'd stop and then I'd come back to it. And eventually I got through it. But I think this one, they put so many options. It could be as easy as you want or as hard as you want. And I think maybe even on the hardest, it's probably a little too easy. They probably went a little bit too on the easy.
I wish they leaned into the difficulty. Not that I even know because I didn't put it. I just put it on the standard, like hurt me plenty or whatever.
I was on the medium, whatever the.
I just did
ultra
default
violence,
too.
which is like I saw a lot of people saying play on ultra violence, but in like mess with the parry window because if you play it slower, you're going to enjoy it more. I really wish they'd kind of keep leaning into that. Like maybe Doom doesn't have. I mean, you still have speed, like you're saying, but I kind of what I
like most about it is the speed, right? Like the whole game is basically.
So you don't want it to feel hard. You don't want to slow down after thinking what you're doing. You're just like blasting through everything.
I like the speed. I like the frantic speed of it. You're basically kiting all these people. You're dodging their fucking shots, their attacks, and then you're like your health is low. Quickly leave the area, go find some health or kill some guys, get healed, and then you go back in the action
It's
that
frantic.
loop.
There's stuff coming from you. You're blocking, you're dodging, you're flinging things back.
It's a very id game, okay?
It is, and they're just showing off how good.
Well, they are showing off, and this is why, like, I love Quake and all that so much back in the day. Is those games were so fast, so frantic,
but it
so
has
flawless.
The soul of
the
it.
engines,
like they have that soul of that speed here, but they also have that new, slower feeling mixed in with it. With also like I feel like they really nailed like bringing this like medieval Doom together with not making it feel like some.
By the way, I was a little
thing.
disappointed. It doesn't seem that medieval, but okay, whatever. Like
Well, you've got like a melee weapon and a shield and it's dark. It's high tech mixed with like the dark ages. It's sort of like doing that whole dichotomy of old and new. But I feel like they nailed the kit.
Did you guys get to the part where you have like the flail and stuff like that? I just got to chapter 9.
I killed some gold armored champion, and then I was on a dragon where I stopped, like with the mounted combat, which was another breakup thing. I didn't know if you guys thought of that.
You know what? The dragon for me was a little disappointing. I like it, but it's just
it reminded me of like some shitty level in WoW. I'd be like, why are we doing this?
It's kind of cool. I mean, you fly the dragon, you shoot the ships down, then you go onto the ship and you clear out the enemies. So it's kind of cool. I liked it, but
if you're using a flail and a shield, John, that's kind of medieval-ish, right? It's different for Doom, just always the gun.
My favorite, I just got the
I was thinking launcher. Going into this though, we were going to be in like really like literally a medieval world.
Well, there's kind of a guy in like a knight suit.
Kind of is.
Yeah,
but there's also like some weird like almost
it's an alternate reality.
Like the people are like Illuminati-ish or something like I don't know.
I think they did it without making it not feel like Doom. I think they did work.
No, it feels like Doom.
Yeah, it feels like Doom, which is what you need.
It feels like Doom. A little bit of the game you mentioned, John.
Warhammer, Quake. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it feels like you said. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
love it.
Yeah.
I'm having a blast. So
it's a really fun game.
Yeah.
Again, I just think Microsoft is murdering right now with these releases, like consecutively, like over and over again. Like, what is the next big one, by the way? Like, what's after this?
Fable isn't far off. I mean, it's far off.
No, but like in next month or 2 months from now, what's the next big one? I think they kind of blew their load
recently.
I think so too, right?
I don't think anybody wants to go up against the juggernaut of the Switch 2, John.
Oh God, don't start this again. Ninja Gaiden 4 is confirmed. Let's see.
Yeah. And by the way,
Simulator Patrol Officer, Spray Paint Simulator, The Alters, Firebreak rematch against the Storm, Tony Hawk Pro Skater in July.
Oh, Tony Hawk's the next big one.
Reloaded.
Tony Hawk's the next one.
August.
I'm excited for Gears of War.
Okay.
I
know some people in the Discord are too. I'll probably pick it up on my PS5. I know that's like blasphemy
sacrilege,
for Gears of War guys, but
right.
I kind of want to see it on the Pro. And I'll probably play it on the PC too. I'll pick it up and see how it looks on my PC. Even though my PC's kind of getting up there in age, it's time for upgrade.
Yeah, I think Microsoft's doing okay, John. Their lineup isn't going to be as big as it was, but they've had some recent heavy hitters. And then there's
Tony
surprises
Hawk
like Claire
is a big
being
one
on Game Pass. Yeah, I don't know if it's as big as you think it is.
If it's on Game Pass, it might be. I know Tony Hawk did some podcasts and he was saying that he wants them to do Underground next as a remaster.
Yeah.
And I would be very happy about that because that's like an open world game. All right, in closing, or any other comments, anything else you want to say about Doom? I mean,
yeah, it's just great, and it's different than the last one in a good way. And I think, Kevin, even like you're saying you kind of missed the last one, but you're still loving this one. So it doesn't have to be a carbon copy, like, to message to Assassin's Creed, right? Change it up a bit every time.
I'm glad it's different. The only thing I think it's a little on the short side. Like you can probably beat it in like 10 to 15
Yeah,
hours,
there's 22 chapters, right?
It should be multiplayer. I should add that.
Yeah, there's no multiplayer.
Yeah,
That's
they could
kind
do
of
that even if it's like campaign.
Maybe they add that down the road.
Yeah, that would be a cool update. That's what I was going to suggest. Like even co-op campaign would be cool. Like because I'm coming off, like I said, with playing co-op Space Marines that I really liked. They could do something like that here, and it would.
But
be
what
awesome.
Kevin said is interesting to me. Like they're showing off, like how the engine's so good, it's so fast, it's so furious. They're like masters of the craft. Like.
Yeah. And John, your takeaway is put a mouse and keyboard on, I guess, if you can on your console even. Can you throw a mouse and keyboard on?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, in general, it ran better on my PC. The mouse and keyboard is the way to go. I've been playing these id games really that way since day one.
Home. You were back home with it. That's
Besides
good. That's
like Doom 64 back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I just like how badass you feel being the Slayer and breaking through walls like the Kool-Aid
heavy
Man
metal
and
music we didn't talk about.
It's like everything. It's a
very
guy
dude.
game.
I don't relate to that part.
It is.
It is like a heavy metal, like just splooge fest. Like it's just like
it is.
It's so metal. Like it's just so metal.
It's refreshing. Like that Metal Hellslinger game I played kind of was trying to do this with like the music and the combos and all that.
We just don't get this quality of games as much anymore.
Yeah.
And it's
no, we
nice
don't.
to see.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
that's the thing. Like when I was playing this game, I'm like, this is like one awesome badass fucking game after another, like week after week from
says
Microsoft.
It's Doom run and gun. How is it different? Well, the shield completely changes everything. I mean, you have
it just feels different.
Just feels different.
I like the shield quite a bit.
I think
it's
the shield's
heavier.
awesome.
Like you feel like I don't know. To me, you feel like Incredible Hulk with a gun, with a shotgun or something. You know, like like and the story's cool. I'm not gonna, you guys can get into the lore on another day, but the story's pretty decent.
I don't know what the fuck's going on in this world, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's all right, but I mean, the story in Doom is kind of like the
demons
it's like
are coming
on a cupcake.
Get down there, kill them, dude.
It's action. It's like a story in a porno. Do you really need it? No, just get to action.
I mean, I like a story. Yeah, no, but in closing though, I think we all love it. I think it's a great Game Pass game, but it's also kind of one that's worth owning. So pick it up, own it, support it, and I don't think there's anything really bad to say about it. That maybe a little short, and maybe they could have had a co-op or something. But I think it's not done. They're going to keep updating. There's going to be DLC, so keep an eye on Doom: The Dark Ages, and win a copy from CD Keys in our Discord at videogameoutsiders.com. Anybody can enter free, but if you support us anywhere, you get extra entries and also weekly bonus shows and the whole back catalog and ad-free VGO. So check us out on videogameoutsiders.com. Join that Discord. It'd be great to see some more of you guys down there. All right, let's move on to some news.
Ooh,
what's happening?
Here we go. Lots of stuff.
Well, Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, delayed again.
Potentially.
What's the date?
Well, I guess Jason Schreier,
our buddy Jason,
said, listen, I wouldn't count on that date of May.
There's no guarantee that May is a sure thing. Well, they didn't announce it's delayed.
Right.
He's just saying that shit.
I know, but I guess he's, the fucking...
All he said is there's no guarantee that's the date. He didn't say I've heard they are. Oh, this guy doesn't know shit. He just wanted to get his article buzzing around.
I mean, I agree. But here's the thing. There's a couple things going on here. One, everybody was moving their release dates away from... why do I keep saying Call of Duty? Away from GTA this fall, okay?
Yep.
So does that mean that this fall the floodgates are going to open because of this? Because everyone's like, oh, shit, GTA is not going to be here. Let's release now in October.
Nobody said they're not going to be here. All he said is there's no guarantee that May is a sure thing. That means nothing.
There's two topics here, Michelle.
Yeah.
No,
topic one.
There's not. This is not worth talking about. We know it's not a guarantee. It's not written in blood. So what is this guy even talking about?
You're not listening to a word I'm fucking saying.
I am.
There's two topics here. No, this fall, GTA is no longer a fucking factor in release dates. Everyone was saying that they were delaying games or moving them away from the fall release of GTA.
They can't magically make it ready, though. If something's not ready.
I know, but if a game could be released the same week as GTA or the same month, people are going to delay it or push it forward. Right. So because GTA is no longer a fall game in 2025, people are saying there's going to be the floodgates are going to open this fall, and we might have a lot of amazing games.
What games? They're coming out of where? Where have you heard about?
I don't know. Well, there's a lot of games, so we might have a really good winter because GTA was delayed. Number one, okay. And then, there's this 4D chess thing that's going on, supposedly, because of this release date. And, everyone's trying to figure out when to... People are trying to figure out when to release their game to be far away from GTA. I think that's a real thing, right? You don't want to release your movie when fucking Star Wars 8 comes out.
Well, look, Oblivion came out with Claire Obscura, and they both did well.
Right.
I think people might move up a little bit.
If I could move my game up, if I was a studio, I would. I'd move it up
I think that's wise.
Ahead of time. I would. And one I was thinking is Battlefield, which Battlefield's supposed to come out early next year.
Yeah.
I'd move.
And by the way, how the fuck am I not in that goddamn beta yet? I keep checking my emails. I signed up for that bullshit.
Speaking of, did you get an email from Nintendo to reserve a Switch 2 or no?
I don't know. I didn't check because I don't care because I already got one. I should look.
I don't really care either.
I'll look right now.
To get an extra one, and I didn't get one, and I'm like, if I didn't get one,
what happened to them being enough?
I'm looking right now. I'm looking at my emails.
I don't know. It seems like nobody got one. Only a tiny amount of people. Everybody in the Discord was saying they didn't get one.
I didn't get one. Huh?
I mean, if anybody should have, I have the family plan.
Right.
Well, me too, dude.
All the time. I signed up for the invite the second they announced it, and
I did too.
Wow. Sounds
The
like
last email I got
over there.
The last email I got from Nintendo is from May 8th. And it says, we're writing to let you know we've updated the Nintendo account user agreement and privacy policy.
So you got me too'd. MII.
I did. I
Yeah.
did. But I did hear good news, though, that even a lot of stores, like I guess like Target's going to have like a bunch of extra ones that you can just walk in on the day of and buy them. So
right.
Hopefully that's true.
So, Kevin, are you taking pre-orders for this?
I don't take pre-orders on systems because I never know exactly how many I'm going to get till like last minute.
And do you have guys in tents outside your store?
Sometimes I'll bet I'll have some people sleeping overnight.
Oh my God, really?
Does that make you feel pretty good?
Not really. No. I don't like it. But because I'll sell everyone regardless. It doesn't. Years ago, I took reservations. I was supposed to get like 20 of a game system, and only 10 showed up. And I had a lot of mad people, so I just don't do it anymore.
Yeah. Do you shove one under the counter for like best bill that you got?
Well, yeah, I'll take care of a couple.
Okay.
Of my,
but you got to be careful.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to let everybody know that, but
Right. Well, now they know. Sorry, guys. Yeah, they don't know who we are.
Yeah.
We're nobodies.
Yeah. I'm a nobody. So. Yeah.
Other news going on out there. Tony Hawk addresses potential Underground Remaster. John, you mentioned that. Are you that excited to play Tony Hawk again?
I am actually, yeah.
Time for a new skating
game? Yeah, give me a new one.
I know, but here's the thing. I don't think there's another skater that has the weight of Tony Hawk, even though Tony's old.
Because nobody's skating anymore. They're all on e-bikes. So where's e-bike Jim? Okay, where's his game? That's what kids want to play.
But the thing is that these
just
games
at a convention too, and he was charging $100 an autograph, and the people.
Tony Hawk was?
Oh, that would make me feel so dirty. Oh, that is so wrong.
Crazy?
I don't
think Tony really needs the cash either.
Dude,
he must.
He had a huge line. That was one of the big.
But come on, what did you make? $5,000? You what could you make possibly? I don't know. $1,000.
This reminds me of something I actually wanted to ask Kevin.
Yeah.
Kind of. Because I remember paying
$10,000 to be there.
I remember paying for an autograph for Pete Rose. And
I would never pay someone for their signature. Okay, it would make
Pete
me feel like
it was at a baseball card show, and
Who
Pete
the hell
Rose.
Are you? I want your scribble. I'm going to give you $100.
Pete Rose
Tony
showed
Hawk.
up like
you know what? I fucking hate
2
Tony
hours
Hawk
late.
now, John. I'm never playing shitty ass games again.
But anyway, there's a point to this because they're saying Pete Rose can get in the Hall of Fame now, Kevin, and you're Ohio guy. What do you think?
Oh my God.
I think he should be in the Hall of Fame. He just based on how good he was.
He was amazing.
Sure, he gambled, but I don't know.
Yeah, but everyone's got DraftKings on their phone now. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, Boom Tap says e-bike Jim only charges $25 an autograph. Okay, Tony Hawk is highway robbery.
I'm looking forward to see what they do with 3 and 4. 4 kind of has some pseudo open world stuff.
Yeah, he's hard on cash apparently. So let's make sure we.
I don't think he is. Underground is when it gets really interesting. But I'm just curious to see what they do with it. The 1 and 2 remake for me was whatever. Mm-hmm. But 3 and 4 is when the games start getting really good. I know the purists probably like the earlier games better, but I like the open world GTA type games better. I don't know. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. I don't even know if I want to get into all this Nintendo shit. And it's not just because both of you guys are Nintendo sycophants, but they did file a new patent that's hinting that they own the patent for upgrading visuals from 2D game remakes to blending of 3D and 2D like Square's Octopath Traveler. Nintendo's trying to patent that and then maybe go after them or go after future people. What do you think?
Going after Square with Octopath?
That is the style they're trying to patent, a blend of 2D, 3D visuals.
With the Vaseline lens?
I don't know about I don't know about that.
The Vaseline. It's the jizz lens.
The parallax.
Well, it has that Barbara Walters lens on the edges.
Image. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am not a fan of patenting game mechanics. I don't think it should happen.
Is that a game mechanic or technology technique?
Well, they're patenting the game mechanic of being able to ride things you collect. They made Pal World. You've got to go around on gliders now. So I think that's dangerous, though, is owning technology or design for a game or even a visual style is pretty bad for gaming and developers.
I actually agree with you on that aspect, but all the companies do it, and they generally don't use it. Nintendo's like one of the few that'll bust out the patent,
right?
Be a patent troll. But what everybody's missing in the whole Pal World and Nintendo thing is they didn't sue until Sony backed Pal World, until Sony.
So it's like a dick measuring contest.
And Pokemon's like one of the biggest IPs in the world, and they're trying to smack down their main competition. So,
but there's a lot of hate for them on the internet now. Nintendo, fuck you. People are bashed it because it's not that they said the art is art.
And Switch 2 is going to sell like gangbusters. So
it doesn't matter. Nintendo isn't cool anymore.
Though.
It's not all bullshit though.
Welcome
there was a big
to the
backlash
internet.
against them.
Yeah, there's a bunch of trolls. Who cares?
But nobody ever. It's not just trolls. There's big YouTubers who have said this isn't right. We don't support this. Nintendo.
Who gives a fuck? The system's going to sell like gangbusters.
It doesn't matter the system. It's Nintendo's practices on what they're doing. And the Power World thing isn't about the art.
People have been saying this for like the last 10 years. You don't have the right to collect things and
mount them. So go after Blizzard then, Nintendo, because I have mounts in WoW that I collect and ride. So that's the problem.
I don't
know. Nintendo is going
I feel like
and
you're not
patenting
telling
these
the whole
fucking
story here.
I'm telling the whole story, and you don't know it because you're a fucking
moron. You're saying
that
people can't mount and collect things? That doesn't make any sense.
No, you can't. Power World just changed it. Nintendo threatened it. That is one of the
patents, but
exactly, it's one of the patents.
So
tell me again how I don't know what I'm talking about.
You can't patent gameplay. You can't patent gameplay.
They did, and Power World,
John. They do patent.
You can't patent gameplay.
They did. You can't ride your pals anymore in Power World because Nintendo said they own the ability to ride mounts that you collect. So you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, John.
See, the thing is, Nintendo would never use
this. Doesn't make it. What you're saying doesn't literally makes no
Kevin
sense.
About
though,
it. I'm not lying. Kevin, explain to him that it's on the list.
No,
what you're saying literally makes no sense, though. Like I've collected 1 million mounts in WoW, so
right.
Yeah, but they aren't going after them.
Nintendo's not going to go after them.
Exactly.
They're only going to go after certain. They're going to use it. It's like all the companies do it, and it's kind of one of those things they don't like to use to sue on patents because it's kind of mutually assured destruction. If
Nintendo acting like they invented flying mounts in video games now. Fuck Nintendo. I like Nintendo, but this shit is fucked. Pokemon did not create the ability to mount creatures on games. Here's the big YouTuber Vera Dark also doing a big video about it. Nintendo versus Pocket Pair lawsuit heats up. Fuck Nintendo. Power World. So it's not made up.
That's definitely the trending thing on YouTube right now to hate Nintendo. But
it is. It's the tides are turning.
I think all the companies do it though, and I just wish our laws would change. I wish that wasn't the way it is.
Well, I want to see Nintendo sue Activision Blizzard and Microsoft for having mounts in WoW because I collect mounts and I ride them. So technically they're doing what Power World's doing. Sue them.
See, that's the thing though. I think Xbox, Microsoft, and Sony have just as many patents, and it would fuck everything if they all.
So they don't want it because then Microsoft could say, "Fuck you, Nintendo. I see what you're doing in Zelda. By the way, we own the ability to do this."
Blow up everything.
So they're only going after the little guy then, and that's what makes people even more pissed off. So it's not this pure love fan fest as it used to be for Nintendo. It was 100% love, and they are burning community bridges, I feel like, and people are starting to wake up to it.
Yeah, but
Pocket Pair.
This has been going on. Listen.
Yeah, I get it. They sued Blockbuster. But they're fucking with game development. And they're fucking with
copyright
gamers.
strikes.
There are game developers that are pissed off at Nintendo, like tons of them, saying, "I fear that I can't make my indie game now, where you collect mounts and ride them because technically I'm breaking Nintendo's patent that they got to fuck Power World."
I'm really questioning this language. I'm sorry.
It's
I'm
true.
trying to find it.
True,
Go into our news.
I don't know.
It's all there. John doesn't believe you, Kevin. Me or anybody in the Discord or Reddit.
I just wish the laws would change. I wish you couldn't patent that stuff.
I agree,
but
it's stupid to patent game mechanics. Yep.
So the remaining claim, I don't think they got the patent though. It's a remaining claim. Okay. So the USPTO rejected. Yes, I think there's a lot more to this. It's not as clear as you think it is.
There's like WB, patented that Nemesis thing for the Lord of the Rings game. That's an awesome.
Yeah, that'll
probably be
thing.
lost to time.
That's dumb.
Hopefully
the
WB
Nemesis
just
thing
goes away, and then somebody else can just use it.
Yeah, I mean, this is an article here, which is like even talking about that new 2D, 3D thing. It says new Nintendo patent has interesting implications for the future of games, gamers, and game development. Nintendo files a new patent that gives players some insight into the features that they will now be owning and maybe using in Switch titles. So that's the 2D, 3D upgrade thing. So like I said, they won't go after Square.
I don't know
like
if
Kevin
they were
saying.
actually awarded the patent, though. I mean, you could apply for any patent you want. But I
think like Kevin is saying
they have patents on certain ones. Yeah. It's dumb. The whole thing is dumb.
But I'm saying you could apply for any patent you want. You're not necessarily going to get the patent. Kevin says they have them, and he says
it's true. So if you want to argue, like, let it go. Like, what Nintendo's doing is shitty. And like Kevin's saying, that's interesting because I was wondering why they wouldn't go after other people. Why won't they go after Square with this 2D, 3D thing? Maybe Square has something that they could go after Nintendo
I bet
with.
Square, it's like an arms race with these patents, and they all have a bunch of them. And if you if you go after a big company, they're going to... It's mutually assured destruction.
So what does that do to smaller development teams like the people who did Clair Obscura? There are 30 people that could make this fantastic game, and now they can't because they don't have any patents. It's a patent race, and that's retarded when it comes to game development. It's not good for game developers. It's not good for gamers. You don't have to defend everything Nintendo does, John. I think this is dumb, and it's shitty.
I'm not defending it.
You are. You don't believe
trying
Nintendo
to get all the
wouldn't
facts.
do that. Miyamoto's my friend. He wipes my ass when I shit. No, it's stupid. Nintendo might make good games, but they have shitty practices for their community and for gamers in general.
See, I think just everybody does
So,
it,
like
though,
I said, here it is. You can't patent the abstract concept of gameplay or game mechanics. You can patent specific implementations or technical aspects of a game that are novel and non-obvious.
Right, but they're saying they own that. The
but
ability to collect
I'm
mounts and
kind
ride
of
them.
somewhat familiar with this patent stuff.
Right,
so
but
you
they
can't
have one that's
patent
on the
gameplay.
list. But they don't consider it gameplay. They said it's
but anyone
you can
can
patent
apply
gameplay.
for a patent.
How do they patent
so
the
because
Lord
a
of the
patent
Rings
was
thing?
applied for
the Lord
doesn't
of the
mean
Rings
that
thing
it was
is patented.
granted.
The Nemesis system is patented. That's gameplay. Yes, you can, and it's been done. So you don't know what you're talking about.
There's all kinds of, like I said, it's a patents arm race between.
Yeah, that's what's shitty. And then that's how these big companies are going to crush smaller developers that are making badass fucking games.
John, they got a bunch of patents just on Tears of the Kingdom, like the Ultra Hand and fuse abilities, and they
which is just a rip off of other things. That fuse ability, like it's just so stupid. It's not, it's not good for development.
I think Sony has a patent on or maybe it's Namco on the load screen, like where you're playing a game in between a load screen, like when they used to put like Galaga or something while a game was loading.
Yeah,
some little dumb game in the memory while the main game was loading in the background. There's a patent on that. All these companies do it.
Yep, Old School says they have a patent. They're selectively suing, and it's BS. Yeah, I think John has a stick up his ass for Nintendo, and he can't recognize when they're doing shitty things. And his answer is, "Well, the Switch 2 is still going to sell." That doesn't matter. The intent is there, and it's shitty practice.
Not at all what I'm doing. I'm just
is.
not going to accept this on face value because I want to know all the facts. So.
Of course.
Logic dictates to me
here, but your facts
that anybody can apply for a patent. And so, so you applied for a patent.
Nintendo
was
has
it granted?
A bunch on
Are you
gameplay, like Kevin is saying.
Are you enforcing the patent? Like, is that actively happening? Like, this is just all anecdotal.
Really. It's very rare.
It's anecdotal, though. It's just anecdotal. Yes, it is. It's like
they only go after people who don't have patents.
Filed
they can patent them back.
Anybody can make a fucking patent, okay? So,
but they're in a lawsuit with Power World, and Power World had to change a bunch of shit for stupid crap like mounts. It's retarded. It's not about the art. It's not about the art.
Ripped off Pokemon.
Sorry, so did not as much as Digimon.
It's obvious that they're threatened.
It's not about the art. It's about mounting creatures you collect.
Some evil-looking Pikachu.
It's about but that's not what they're forcing them to change. That's not what we're talking about. That's a straw man, John. They are saying you don't have the ability to mount things you collect. They are saying you don't have the ability to mount things you collect, but they won't go after Blizzard because Microsoft has patents that could fuck Nintendo. It's predatory, it's selective, and it's shit for the smaller developers and for gamers. It's not a good thing that we should be supporting. What are you about? How can you defend that? You're so
not even
tribal.
Doing nothing's.
Palworld just did a huge update with changes where you have to glide alongside your mount now. You can't ride your fucking mount in the game. So fuck you, Nintendo. That's why the internet's saying it. And I stand by it whether or not you like Nintendo games. And Kevin even agrees, and he's selling this shit.
I still like Nintendo, regardless. I don't have a problem
You're entering some weird realm where you want to paint me as a Nintendo apologist. I'm trying to use logic.
You can't ride your mounts in Palworld anymore.
I'm trying to use logic.
You can't mount your mounts in Palworld anymore. You have to glide alongside them. What do you like? It's just a dumb thing for development. Nintendo shouldn't be selectively using these patents. Nobody should. But I haven't heard the last time I heard Microsoft shut somebody down. The Sky Oblivion team, they sent them Oblivion. They didn't shut them down like Nintendo would have.
I guess if you rip on me enough, maybe.
No, I'm fair and factual. I said from the beginning, Xbox handled it with grace with Sky Oblivion. I was fucking worried because I'm looking forward to Sky Oblivion. I actually think it's going to be better than the Oblivion Remastered. And I didn't know when I heard about Oblivion Remastered if Microsoft was going to shut them the fuck down. They didn't. They support it. They're giving them a copy of Oblivion, and they're handling it with grace. Yeah, is that a joke? You know what Nintendo does? They fucking shut everything down and sue people. So that has nothing to do with me liking or hating Nintendo. I grew up with my fucking NES just like all of you and played fucking Zelda. So no, what they're doing is shit here, and what Microsoft is doing is actually nice and good for gaming, good for developers, good for modders, good for the industry. Do you argue with that? Do you think Microsoft should have shut down Sky Oblivion? John?
I want facts. I'm looking for facts right now on this patent thing. You want some fucking Joe?
Kevin is telling you that it's true.
That's making
He's
a video.
Saying this goes on.
So I'm sorry.
Joe.
I'm not gonna.
It's about. Kevin said it's true, and they have this stuff.
You're focusing on Nintendo though, and I just think all the companies do it, but Nintendo is more vicious about it. And
well, can you give me 5 examples of companies that have shut other games down?
Well, see,
suing them for patents.
This all goes back to Nintendo and Sony hate each other, and the second Sony made a deal with Pocket Pair, that's when Nintendo started to sue them. So
well, you know what? Now I'm Team Sony even more. Team Sony, Sony and PC. That's all you need.
But Sony's giving them a bunch of money to go after Nintendo. It's all just a big war between those two. It's a console war.
Shut them down. At least Sony puts their game on Steam.
Nintendo are gangsters. Like I don't. Yeah, they're vicious,
mean.
So
they're mean.
They make good shit though. Yeah. They make good games, and I want to play Mario Kart. So I don't.
Yeah, I mean they make good games. That's nice, but they're preventing other good games from possibly being made and shutting down and changing other good games that have been made. So yeah, it's nice we all get to play Nintendo, but I'm still going to call something shitty, whether or not it's from Nintendo or Microsoft.
So John, are we going to make a Mario Kart little gang? We can ride around and play.
Yeah, we want to do the open world thing.
He's still doing research mid-show instead of before. Give him time.
We can have a little. Can we have?
I didn't realize that I was going to be like.
John, I sent it to you all week, and our news is literally half of these articles are news. You could have looked at it before. It's not belittled. It's you saying that this news isn't true.
No, you're paying me. You're calling me names. I'm a Nintendo apologist.
I will never play Animal Crossing on Switch 2. It'll be on the PC. I don't need it. Because you are. No, because you can't. There's never one bad thing you said about Nintendo. You defended the Alarmo for $100 without a snooze button.
Alarmo's
and the fact
fantastic.
that you need a subscription to use it.
You
are a Nintendo sycophant. You suck Miyamoto's cock and you shit on Sony, and yet you buy every game for Sony.
I guess if you say enough things like this, and then some fucking weirdo says, "You're so right, Michelle," and then you're validated.
Only weirdos
so
agree
what?
with me. That's right.
Yeah.
It must be what it is. Kevin just agreed with me on air.
Michelle, you're so right. You're so right, Michelle. And then you feel like, I did it. I'm the white knight of the gamers. I figured it all out. I cracked the code.
Mechanics, says John. You cannot patent gameplay mechanics. Yes, you can.
I just read you the fucking article.
How they do the fucking Lord of the Rings thing then with the Nemesis system? Do tell, John. Do tell. Kevin, can you patent game mechanics?
I guess if you say it fast enough and loud enough or whatever your fucking characters you're playing right now.
I'm right, but I'm right. He's telling you right there. Look at the list of Nintendo's patents on gameplay mechanics.
Generally, game mechanics and rules are not patentable.
Generally, but they are protected
by. They're protected by copyright. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but sometimes it gets through. If you're a big enough company, you can.
And like I said, anyone can apply for a patent. But Michelle thinks if she talks fast enough and does enough insults, she's right.
And
everyone just falls for it.
Right. He's telling you it's right. He says patents get through when you're a big company. He's telling you. Argue with him. Can you not argue with another man or can you only argue with women? Do you have balls to argue with another dude? Argue with him.
Kevin's not saying anything. He's not attacking me.
He's telling you you're fucking wrong. You're just not arguing with him. Yes, he is.
Just telling you that they do have
patents. I'm done. Let's just
John doesn't have fucking ears. He doesn't have fucking ears. Kevin's telling him there are patents that get through when you're a big enough company, and he doesn't support it. That's what he's saying.
John,
to
let's
you.
Revive the Satans and let's have a gang in Mario Kart. You know, have.
I think so. We could do the open world and just like explore it for like hours.
Yeah, we'll have fun. It'll be relaxing.
We need to be.
We don't have to worry about.
We need to be all cows. By the way.
Okay, that's cool.
We can only be the cow.
Moo Moo Meadows is one of my favorite tracks,
Gamers pull back wallets as video game spending dips again. Now, Kevin, you said gamers were going to be ready for these $80 games. You think they're going to tolerate it because they have to. I think there's too many options, too many free things. Looks like spending is pulling back. What do you think of this in the future?
Well, it's actually the more expensive stuff's actually good for me because people are going back to the old stuff, and I got a lot of it. But I think it depends on the game. I think certain games are going to be fine at 80. I think a lot of games, though, they're going to come out at 80 and they're going to drop in price real quick because they're not going to sell at that. So I think the market will figure it out. And I think it's a lot of these companies just testing the market to see what they can get away with. Unfortunately, a lot of gamers are going to they're going to complain, but they're still going to buy them.
Right.
No one's skipping.
But people are spending less money.
Kevin, I always see articles or people posting like Toys R Us ads from the 80s or 90s.
Yep.
Saying games were... Games. I don't remember that at all.
I do.
You do?
It was the third-party games.
I don't remember that at fucking all. I never paid $80 for an NES game.
I paid $80 for like the Star Wars game, which kind of sucked.
Which one? Super Nintendo?
Not the good one. Yeah, the first one that came out for N64 was like.
There were like 3 games a year people wanted, and they went on sale way faster. I heard now they hold their value more.
Hang on, the first N64 Star Wars I actually liked. I played Shadows of the Empire.
Yeah, it was all right, but
Rogue Squadron was better. But
yeah,
but I liked that stupid Shadows of the Empire. It was like a third-person kind of shooter game.
It was all right. Yeah.
But again, it was a time where you had like 3 games and you just played it, right?
Yeah, you only got like a couple games a year. It's not like now where there's a million games to play. So, yeah, that's all you had. And there was no, you got it, you played it because you paid $70 to $80 for it, and you're going to play it till completion because you weren't getting another one for a long time.
And they were hard.
Was $80 back then.
It took you a while to play them. You couldn't just like sit down. I mean, I feel like my sister and I were playing Mario Brothers for ages because she couldn't figure out how to get past the levels, But now
and then there was like secrets and stuff in Super Mario, like the negative levels
Google.
and the
you had to wait for the magazines to come out every month. You had to wait a month for that.
So there's another Mario movie coming out.
Cool.
It's called Super Mario World.
I like the Mario movie.
It was
Minecraft
fun.
Movie just came out. I saw online.
My daughter's killing me to go to the new Super Nintendo World. I'll probably have to spend a bunch of money to go there.
Where is it?
She's all into.
Michelle, are you going to watch the Minecraft movie?
I don't know. I was thinking of downloading it, but I didn't. I mean, I don't know. It'd be like
I feel like I just need to. I need to see it just so it's part of my lexicon. But like,
yeah,
I think I'm Jack blacked out.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly don't really give a shit about it. I mean, especially when didn't Bradford say, or somebody said it's like the type you yell back to in the theater?
I said it's like a Rocky Horror.
Yeah.
Well, that was all the news, all the clips that we saw. People were freaking out when the fucking wrestling match or whatever the fuck's going on with the chicken battle or something.
Like chicken jockey, I think it's
yes,
called,
Badger. So I heard as well. It's out there. There's 4K HDR. Well, we're gonna get out of here. We had a fun show, and you know what? Doom is not done because we got Matt Bradford next week to come back and give his impressions along. I think he played Revenge of the Savage Planet. That's another Game Pass game, by the way. So he'll be talking about that next week. Kevin, it was great to have you. If you want to check out Kevin, he does a weekly show on our app or just a couple times a month or whatever. It's called The Game Store Guy. He's also in our Discord, always sharing pictures, cool stuff from his shop. He's got a really cool store out there. What else do you want to promote? I know you have a YouTube. What's going on out there in your world, Kevin?
I am going to be at a couple conventions here. One called Colossal Con here in Sandusky, Ohio. Another one in Sandusky, Ohio called Torg, and that's at the end of June. So if you're around this area, come say hi. I'll be there.
Awesome. So check out CC Games CEO. Come on down to our Discord to win Doom and support our show. Get extra weekly bonus shows, the back catalog, and ad-free VGO. And also say hi to John because he loves to talk to people. Right, John?
Yeah, talk to John about patents.
Yes, tell him all about the patents. Just at John with all the patents that exist out there for video games that he thinks are real. So, okay. So I think we're done. We'll be back next week. It was a fun show. Check out cdkeys.com. Thank you for the sponsor. Save money on games. John, anything? Ready?
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Subbing Video Game Outsiders out.
With our new friends, maybe have a drink, maybe it will never end. The penthouse in reach, with our rich friends, hot tub and fantasy, and maybe it will never end. The summer never ends when you're with me. The summer never ends when you're with me. Going down to the beach with our new friends. Maybe have a drink, maybe it will never end. The penthouse in reach with our rich friends, hot tub and fantasy, and maybe it will never end. The summer never ends when you're with me. 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 The summer never ends when you're with me.